The internet is full of people doing the most beautiful, mind-bending things. Flips, balances, movements that seem to defy gravity. Acrobatics is slowly seeping into the mainstream, touching people deeply. Because it's not just about strength or flexibility, it's about expressing freedom, ease and flow in motion. So wouldn't it be great if you could start your own acrobatic journey to dive into this vast world that goes far beyond a regular fitness plan and elevates your training to a whole new level? Well, it is totally possible. See, I learned acrobatics as an adult myself, and so did countless students and participants in my workshops and online programs. And since you've clicked this video, I assume you're at least a little curious about this beautiful practice. So let's get right into it with 4 acrobatic moves that look much harder than they actually are.
And the very best part is you don't need a gym. While I love practicing outdoors, with winter approaching, it's quite nice to practice in the comfort of your own home. Whoa, but wait, you've got this empty room dedicated just for training. Most people don't. Well, yes, you're exactly right. And this is why I've marked out this 2x2 meter square, which will be my practice space. Everything that we'll be practicing will happen inside of this practice field. So chairs and tables aside, and let's get going.
Each move will come with a beginner-friendly version and a slightly more advanced one, so you can join in no matter your level. Ready? Let's move.
Let's already start with the first movement, the clock roll, a beautiful rolling variant that we can also use to warm up the body. Rolling is not only a great skill and a beautiful technique, but it's also something much more profound.
Because falling happens, whether we want it or not. And one of the most reliable ways to protect yourself is learning how to roll. It's the art of meeting the ground safely, instead of fighting it. Learning to fall means learning to roll. At any age.
Because we'll be rolling over our shoulders, let's make sure to warm them up properly. I like to call this one the tower. I roll up on top of my shoulder and support myself in between the thumb and my index finger in my leg. Now, from side to side, already trying to load my shoulders one at a time. I can use my legs to grab the floor so I can support myself here. As a more intermediate variant, I can already try to reach diagonally into the floor. This will be useful for the advanced version of the clock roll. Step number 1. From a sitting position, you want to slowly roll onto your back and simply get up again. This should involve no bumps whatsoever, a smooth ride, tucking your pelvis in. Now, as soon as you understand this, we can try to already aim for one shoulder and try to see if we can load it a little bit. Both arms support yourself, and you can even now use the leg that we've practiced before in order to catch yourself. Challenge time. Let's slow it down and try to perform it from a still lying position. This will use a lot of core strength, but will prepare you perfectly for the last step. To finalize the clock roll, you will pick one shoulder, roll to the back, support yourself with your foot. Now, what happens next is a twisting motion. Try to keep your foot as an anchor and rotate on your shoulder until you reach a neutral position. It looks quite easy, but there is a lot of detail in this move, so take your time figuring it out.
In my experience, the most important step in order to get this one down is first to shoot your leg a little bit further over the shoulder. This creates space. Then the second leg needs to slowly circle down like a scorpion's tail. This will ensure that you're not falling simply on your back.
Remember this crossed over leg motion we did in our warm-up? Well, exactly this is now what we need for the advanced version of a clock roll. Instead of rolling back over the right shoulder, tapping with the right foot, I will now use the left foot. This is a bit awkward. Now I can try to find my leg going through this hole I've created until I reach again this neutral position. Let's try to find flow in this one.
For the next move, we will need to warm up our wrists properly because we'll be practicing a one-arm cartwheel. Wait, what? One arm? Yes, I'm very certain you can do it. So just follow along. We simply do a couple rounds of these catwalks, some hand push-ups as well. If you have soft floor, we can go for these fist rolls. And finally, let's give these hands a good shake. Before going only onto one arm, let's use the rollé to warm up the body. It's quite easy. You will simply reach for the floor and take one and a second step around to the other side. At first, quite slow. If you can, try to speed it up and try to find this moment of floating on top of your hands. The rollé is a capoeira basic, and while it looks quite easy, it's still a lot of fun. You can even try to add a circular motion to add more flow. Next, let's perform the rollé with just one arm, which is the close arm. So placing, stepping and swinging around. Quite easy. Before continuing to the next step, it's important to be able to do this movement with a bit of a floating sensation. There is a brief second where you just support yourself with the hand. In order to upgrade the slow version, we simply need to try to swing our legs a little bit higher. Instead of thinking from 0 to 100%, no, take it slowly. Just a bit of a jump. You could even take something like a pillow to jump over, so you have really a stimulus to work with. But then from here, from one side to the other, trying to swing a little bit higher until you can make a version that you're happy with for now. For the advanced version, we add a cool thing, the tic-tac. Just upon landing, we will again switch the leg, so we have this situation. The tic-tac is one of these movements that look much harder than they are. So after mastering your one-arm rollé, transforming it into a one-arm cartwheel, you can already try to perform this redirection moment. Of course, at first it might not be as smooth, but this is fully okay. It's important to simply start. Now people, before continuing with the next movement, I have an important announcement for you, which I am pretty stoked about, so let me share it with you. Basically, we've been busy rebuilding my entire online shop. It's new, refined and packed with all of my programs, from beginner-friendly foundations to advanced skill work. And for this launch week, you'll get a special discount to start your practice. Acrobatics, mobility handstands and more. Oh, and if you just want to try things out first, I've got my free Enter the Flow program waiting for you. You'll find everything in the video description and the pinned comment. I call the next movement the slingshot. It feels very nice and it's a beautiful transition that you can use to go from lying or generally sitting on the floor to standing in less than 1 second. Because this movement uses a lot of mobility and strength in our hip joints, let's prepare our hips, especially for this opening portion, which will later propel us upwards. I like to sit on the side of my body and like to simply circle my leg as much as I can. At first you can keep it slightly bent, but later you want to really find the big circles all the way. And if you feel like this one is producing cramps in your bum, well, more practice. And really don't skip it, because now we need it for the full sling. The mechanism is now going on top of your shin and performing the same circles. Every time your leg circles up, this gives you a lift upwards, which is accompanied by a push in your lower leg. At first, try to practice on the balls of your feet, because now you can use the strength of your toes as well, and basically your whole leg strength in order to find this rhythm. It takes a little while to figure out, but after some time you should be able to get it. Again, the leg circles around and drives you up. As soon as you got it, go back again to your shin. I think the most easy version of the slingshot is to use this leg motion in order to go into a low squat. So from sitting, I transition either onto the arch or onto my toes, depending what is easier for you. I will use the circling motion and catch myself in a squat and push myself into it.
Before continuing to the advanced version, let's try to do it from standing. Wide base, squatting down, catching myself and going onto the shin. Practice this a couple times so you know where to go. Because then from here, we can use directly this mechanism to go back.
Maybe by now it is clear why I call this move the slingshot. It really feels like slinging yourself from sitting to standing. If it's easy enough, why not try the full version all the way to standing? Really try to produce a lot of lift by pushing into the floor and swinging your leg high. As soon as you're in standing, you need to whip the leg down, which then helps the upper body up. This one might take a while to study.
Isn't that a neat little movement right here? And the best thing is, you can use it anytime now you want to stand up. Simply sitting there and all of a sudden, slingshot, and off you go. Arching means properly preparing the body, especially the shoulder for this open position and our spines. If you're a watcher of this channel, you already know what's coming next, but still, if you're new to the practice, the one arm bridge is really the best bang for your back exercise to open up the body. From a squatting position, reach back, don't go all the way back, stay rather close to your feet. Now, try to open up your body. At first, maybe this is all you can produce. Later, with practice, you want to squeeze yourself more and more into this nice homogeneous arch. It shouldn't just be the shoulder or opening or the hip, it really should be the whole body joining in this task. Try to find a position with your feet that feels stable and solid, so you can hold this for at least 20 seconds.
Because then we can move on to baby swipes, which is basically switching from one side of your body to the other with a nice swiping motion of your arms. For me, I think about painting the sky with my arms, nice big strokes. If you want, you can keep your hip quite low at first and with time try to extend it more. This is the basic arm swipe motion. Knees forward and hip up so you can support yourself with your legs.
Honestly, that's quite exhausting, so really take your time learning this one. This is probably the hardest of these 4 movements.
But we are not quite finished yet, because now we need the spiraling step into our arm swipe, which will then create the full movement. I think this is even easier because now you can use the setup as a power generator. And again, knees forward and upwards with the hip so you can really harness your leg strength. The more you work with technique, the less strength is required.
The cool thing with the arm swipe is that it's part of the acrobatic stem cells, movements that later can transform into so many other skills. So instead of transitioning over to the other side, we can also try to see if we can use the swiping motion and a bit of leg strength in order to get up to standing. Because if you figure it out, you can easily use this entry from before, this time from standing, to do a basic forward arch.
And I am always so stoked teaching this one because it looks so fancy, but indeed it does work quite nice. So give it a go and let me know how it works. To finish this video, let's try to find a nice combination. Why not start with a one-arm cartwheel into the floor using the clock roll to continue. I then find my slingshot into a standing position and finish with an arm swipe. Now, of course, there's many more opportunities and chances to combine these movements. Right here are basically the same moves, just in a different order. You can give it a go and you can try to see how far you come. If you don't like to work so technically, why not simply freestyle with all of the moves that we have worked on? Simply play a nice song that you enjoy and stay within your space, I inside of my square, and I simply try to use these moves here and there. Maybe sometimes I'll use something I saw somewhere else, and that is the beauty of acrobatic improvisation.
There you go. See? You could do this, because it is never about being naturally acrobatic.
It's about showing up, trying, and giving your body the chance to learn. Now, it's just practice. and a bit of consistency, and you'll be amazed how far these simple foundations can take you.
Now, if you did like this video, consider subscribing and let me know in the comment section which of these moves was your favorite or which of them surprised you the most.
Oh, and before you go, just a quick reminder again that the Black Friday sale is happening this week. So if you've ever wanted to dive deeper into movement or acrobatics, this is the perfect moment. Thanks for watching and see you soon. Watch this video for 3 more beginner moves and this playlist for all things acrobatics.